Ooh, how spooky. I suppose I could put the light on. Let me see what happens. Hi. Yes, I'm half naked. Good thing I'm not monetized, right? No, I'm wearing like a tube top dress thing with the straps down. But I have this over me. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to say hi and good night to you guys. Um, I don't know, feeling kind of some sort of way, a little lonely today, so I'm utilizing my YouTube channel as a means to reach out. I got out of work a half an hour early, which was delightful because I had to get gas. Like I said, I got my debit card in the mail today. One of those things you don't realize how much you miss until you don't have it. And it's not like I couldn't have drawn out some money or written a check or whatever, but it's a pain in the ass to go to the bank and just deal with all that stuff that used to be like rolling off a log 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. I should Google when debit cards first became a thing. I remember the first ATM machines. They were called Barney. ADD tangent. Where the fuck was I going with that? Oh, the reason. Yeah, debit card. I went and I got gas, and then I was really, really hungry. And this isn't overcoming for me. This is like a non-scale victory, or maybe actually a scale victory if I would ever get on the scale. But I was hungry and like peckish after work, and but I'm not the type to go out and get like fast food or garbage. Like I don't eat that way. Um, but I'm also trying to be keto. So I decided to be a big girl and a mature woman and a grown up, and took my little debit card there and went to ShopRite, which is a store I actually hate. And I got some bacon and some cheddar cheese and some pork rinds and cat food. Not that I'm going to eat that, but what did I get? Heavy cream. I loaded up on like a bunch of my keto basics, and then by the time I got home, I was like, no, I'd rather go to bed than eat. So I just had a small handful of barbecue pork rinds, which are zero carbs. Um, and then like I was fine. You know, it's funny how sometimes you have to give into something, but like in a way that you're supposed to be doing. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is like the old me might have gone to Wendy's and gotten like a cheeseburger or something, and then I would have hated myself for it. Not that you should hate yourself for eating, but at 53 years old and postmenopausal with thyroid and adrenal, disease, I don't need to be eating a freaking cheeseburger at 10 o'clock at night. So I had my little crunchy pork rinds, and it's nice to know that I've now got like bacon, eggs, and cheese in the house, and my heavy cream for my coffee. And when you're on keto, like you really have to be armed. You have to be like, I was talking about this with my daughter the other day because she's very successfully doing keto. Our relationship is still a little strained right now, but we are talking, so it's cool. And she sent me a picture of all of them from 4th of July, and she just looks amazing. She lost like over 20 pounds in a couple months doing keto. She's back to her second baby weight, and she really looks amazing. So I get very excited, like, it's doable. When you're on keto, it's like you don't really seem to think you're going to lose weight because you're eating high protein, high fat, and you're always full. And it's like, as you're eating this stuff, you're going, how could I lose weight from this? My cord was tickling my leg. I'm not like doing anything nefarious down there. Oh my god. Okay, now this was like, never mind. Like, for instance, at the diner yesterday with Ruthie, she got a cheeseburger and fries, and I was almost going to get a cheeseburger and take off the bun, but I was like, you know what? Let me get let me get a large chef salad with blue cheese dressing. It was so satisfying. I mean, it was kind of subpar because it was my local diner, but, you know, greens and peppers and onions and olives and cheeses and meats and blue cheese, like, what's not to love, I've always loved a keto diet, and it gives you a lot of energy, and it makes your skin glow, and you don't ride that blood sugar wave up and down. So what else did I get? Had to have been more than that because I spent like $40. I got 2 bricks of cheese, 2 things of bacon because I always buy stuff to freeze. I made a rhyme. I don't remember. I was going to do a little haul and then I thought that's really lame. So instead I'm just going to bed now and I wanted to say goodnight and not really apologize for before or not even like attempt to explain what I meant. But I think the gist of what I'm trying to say is like, I would hope that my friends would accept me no matter what my stance is. You know what I mean? Like I'm not scolding anybody. I'm not telling anybody to not gang up on Amberlynn. I'm not calling anybody a bully. I know that everything about that girl completely invites criticism and frustration and a weird amalgam of like pity and anger and disgust and amazement and like just, um, like I always say, I was just speaking for me when I said like I had to distance myself from the negativity. Um, I mean, it was actually like at the recommendation of this like coach person I've been working with who's been clearing my energy fields. Now, I just said that with a straight face. I didn't even smile. Um, Far be it from me to criticize something that seems silly or that I don't understand when it's actually kind of like working. You could call it the power of suggestion. You could call it my meds. You could call it just positive thinking. Um, but whatever it is, I've been like taking suggestions lately and opening myself up to more of like a benevolent kind of, almost like an ask the universe things and manifest what you want and then stuff gets back to you. And I have to say, like, in a week, that's happened many times where I've put out a positive energy and something positive has come back to me. And it could be something very small or like, I mean, even tonight, like a guy coming in almost an hour early and saying like, go ahead, you can leave. Like that's unheard of. Most people are late. And I mean like really late. 10 minutes to an hour late sometimes. And it worked out perfect because tomorrow I'm working like 20 hours. I'm going in at noon and I'm staying straight through overnight to 8 o'clock the next morning. So I'm very happy I got the gas. I'm happy I got my food because I like to have stuff in my house, like I said. I get really cranky when I don't have cream for my coffee in the morning. Like, I'm not a black coffee person. And you can have 2 tablespoons of cream on the keto diet. So, I still need to get my chopped meat, my onions, my avocado. Oh, I know what I got. I also got bags of frozen spinach, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower. One of the best inventions of the 20th century, 21st century, is the microwavable steam-in bags, the frozen veggie bags that you just pop in the microwave. Is this weird, you guys? Like, is this creepy that I'm doing this? I'm not trying to be sexy. I'm just like, this is the way I sleep, and I'm just hanging out with you guys before I go to sleep. This is my last-ditch hurrah of, like, slightly manic energy. I can sleep in the morning. I can even sleep to, like, 10 or 10:30 if I want. I took a melatonin. I took my second pill. Very conflicted about the stuff I talked about with the nurse practitioner today. Like, it's really funny how nowadays when you talk to your doctors about meds, because there is such an addiction epidemic, always, really, with pills and stuff like that. A lot of doctors are very reticent about giving you anything. You could, like, have you come in with your arm hanging off and, like, here, take 2 extra strength Tylenol, you'll be fine. Take a tramadol, I went in recently for kidney stones, and they gave me Toradol shot, which is a pain reliever. It's a strong NSAID, but it's not a narcotic. And I remember being like, because I have a background in meds, I'm like, I don't want no Toradol. And the lady was really like, the nurse was so, bitchy with me. She's like, well, what do you want? And I go, Dilaudid. She goes, what do you know about Dilaudid? I said, I know what it is and what it does, and I've got kidney stone pain. Anyway, I said all that to say that when I was speaking with the nurse practitioner today, and she was asking me like if I had nightmares. She was willing to prescribe something for nightmares. She was going to give me Ambien for occasional sleeplessness. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys must get kickbacks. And I don't mean just like a tote bag or something from these med companies, because like there's no reason in hell I can't just keep on with either a diphenhydramine at night, a unison, well, that is diphenhydramine, a melatonin. There's a million and one things I can do to ensure that I sleep better. One is to completely stay away from caffeine. Two is stay away from the cigarettes, which I've been doing. And three, shut off all electronics by 10 o'clock. The whole blue light thing and all that. But my point is that, like, she was so, like, she goes, Ambien's a good drug. It gets a bad rap. And I'm like, bad rap? 2 words, Roseanne Barr. Remember all that? And you can really get quite loopy on Ambien. I've heard that you can, like, you wake up and you can eat, like, an entire chicken, and then you go back to sleep, and you wake up in the morning and you see chicken bones, and you're like, sleep eating, sleepwalking, sleep eating. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that kind of stress. And then she was also talking about, we were talking about upping my duloxetine. We were talking about the HRT. We were talking about the Lamictal with the Abilify. And then she even said something else. And I was like, I was going to almost say doctor. She's not a doctor. She tells me to call her Christine, but that sounds so disrespectful. But I said, you have to understand, I'm trying to be on the least amount of stuff possible. Like, all I was trying to do with my mood disorder was kind of pull the nose up out of the nosedive and level out. I'm not looking to keep going up. I said, why does the Lamictal even have to be increased up to 100 or 200 milligrams eventually? And she said, oh, that's the therapeutic protocol. And I was just like, my system must be just very, very sensitive, because I really feel even just this 25 milligram, and I like it. I do like it. It's really nice to have kind of an even mood and not feel so reactionary and so like I'm going to quit my job every day and like I hate everybody. And it fascinates me to think about how this stuff works on the brain synapses and all that. Because in the past, all I've ever been on is SSRIs, I've been on Wellbutrin, Zoloft, Celexa, Effexor, Prozac, Serafem, which is it's just a brand of Prozac. I've literally been on all of them, including imipramine, Depakote, and they work for a little while, and then they wind up with weird side effects. The side effects I hated the most was the weight gain and the loss of libido. And, for the last couple of years, I've joked around kind of ruefully about like, oh, well, I don't need a libido anyway. I don't have a partner. It's like, fuck that. I mean, you don't have to have a partner to want a libido, because a libido makes you just feel some je ne sais quoi, like some kind of way. You feel yourself, you feel like a viable, vibrant, attractive, engaging person when you have a libido, and when you feel your sexiness, if you will. I don't know why I'm talking and avoiding sleep. Anyway, so that's my little medical rundown. With the long and the short of it is that I told her I don't want the Abilify. I don't have the extra $69 a month. She was like, oh my God, why is it so much? What kind of insurance do you have? And I'm like, the Firefighters Union of New York City. It's pretty damn good insurance, But, again, kickback, I think. I don't know. I said to her, what is the Abilify supposed to do? She doesn't realize I do my own research. And it was like, humana, like, I don't know. I'm not going to take extra meds that I don't need to. I'm not looking to become a different person or change my entire personality. All I wanted to do was to stop having these depressive dips that were leading to binge drinking. So I decided to take the Limictal on its own. The Klonopin is like a rescue when I have a panic attack, but it's also just really nice to know it's there. And she said I could also use it as a sleep aid, but I thought to myself, that's bad advice. That's not sound advice, to use a benzodiazepine as a sleep aid. When I was in rehab, the people coming off the benzos were in almost as bad a way as the people coming off coke and heroin. And of course I was coming off booze, which is like another whole different hell of a different color. But no, I'm not even about getting hooked on Klonopin. They're literally just on hand for, if I panic or if something's really, really bad, if I'm really anxious. It's just nice to have them there, So, and then my neurologist wanted my Cymbalta increased, but she wanted me to talk to Christine first to see if it would be contraindicated. And Christine said, how do I know? Talk to your pharmacist. All that stuff is supposed to flag in their system when you get your prescriptions filled. And it's also complicated because, nothing's even filled yet. There's always some kind of delay, and CVS always wants me to get 90-day supply instead of 30, but I don't have that kind of money. My fat and my muscles look really weird. So, I've also been thinking about yoga and going on walks every day and just trying to get more body conscious. Sometimes you don't always have to lose weight to feel more grounded and good about your body, if that makes any sense. Okay, this is really weird to have this many videos in one day that are kind of all non sequiturs. This one in particular I know is really all over the place, but it's just a nightly chit chat if you want to hear it, and if you don't, obviously you wouldn't be listening. But I love you guys. Thanks for bearing with me. I've got fur in my nose. Felt a little bit triggered today by Chantal acting all high and weird on her Vyvanse or whatever, and Amber, milking the bipolar cool kids table. It drives me insane. It really does. It's like she doesn't have enough life history or innate intelligence to understand what she's wading into, And if she indeed does have these disorders, she better take it seriously and take her meds and go to the doctor and get monitored and regulated. And I find it very, very hard to believe she went to a shrink. And I find it hard to believe that no doctor worth his or her salt wouldn't talk about the elephant in the room, almost quite literally, of her weight. And they're saying she doesn't have a binge eating. I'm not getting into it. Not going there. Deirdre said I have to work on victimization, complaining, and blaming. So I'm trying to have a good attitude. I'll talk to you guys later. I put my glasses somewhere. I can't find them. Thanks for listening to me ramble. It does mean everything to me. It really does. I'm fully aware that I'm a very unusual person, but love me, love my weirdness, if you will, please. And I'll just keep trying to keep it real, raw, and authentic. Okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.